Hey, Juice, we're back with another episode here. What do you think? You excited?
Yes.
You like my shirt?
Yes. Actually,
it's
I
on
do
you
like
now.
that shirt.
It's on you right now. Hold on a minute. Let's get back over to me.
I got an old school Rat Fink shirt, so.
We'll see it in a minute. There it is. Except Commies, Juice.
Yeah.
So, Tiny Tim, you remembe him?
Yes.
He used to play the guitar with his curly hair. So a lot of people.
Tiptoeing through the tulips.
Yeah, he was funny. Funny guy. So we had an attempted assassination again this weekend.
Yes, by a mental midget.
Mental midget. So he watched MSNBC and got indoctrinated, and then he thought he was doing the right thing.
Listen, if if you think for a second you're going to get away with assassinating the president in today's day and age, you seriously, I don't care what you watch, you have mental health issues.
You might get a licking on him.
Maybe.
An injury like it, but he wasn't the president, though. He was a candidate then.
Yeah.
So. But like Reagan, you know what I mean? They almost killed him. But
yeah. I remember that. I watched that on TV.
Yeah. But it's very difficult to get in there. And what I'm seeing is, though, he was on a different floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get down to the floor where the ballroom was.
Right.
Yeah. So, and we shot at him 5 times and missed.
Somebody needs to go through Mackey's range training.
We can come down to the farm and spend a week.
Yeah.
I'll put you under stress, and you may not want to be a special agent after that, but
yeah, probably not. But it's good training, and some of them need it apparently.
What's that place called in Georgia where they go training? Fletsy.
Glencoe over at
Glencoe.
Fletsy.
That's a good place, man.
It is. I don't know what's going on with their firearms training, but I know if I shoot at you 5 times, you're going to die of lead poison.
I might at least hit you in the foot.
I'm going to hit you somewhere.
I'm going to bring some flesh, right?
Yeah.
So I don't, I'm not very hypercritical of people in a stressful environment, but you need to train to a certain level so that you at least draw some pain when you press that trigger, and so.
Absolutely. I mean, I get you lose all your fine motor skills, but that natural point of aim, that natural body alignment, that reaction, punching that weapon out, that should be ingrained in muscle memory.
And there was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one guy in a dark alley.
It wasn't just one.
Right. Somebody should have got some action there. But this guy's obviously disturbed.
Well, he was a teacher, so.
Well, he fits the profile, though. He lives with his parents.
Yeah.
Highly educated.
Yeah.
He didn't have like a humanities degree. He had like computer science.
Yeah.
Very intelligent guy.
Yeah.
But he'd never had to go out and get kicked in the shorts by life.
No. Real life escaped him. It didn't even graze him.
I think that's the difference between our parents. I'm trying to do it to my kids, but you got to get out and let life kick you around a little bit.
Yeah. That's how you learn. That's how you survive.
You don't have time for this bull crap. You got to go make a living,
Yeah. And some of us, it just started a lot earlier because of your stubbornness. Yeah. Started at 17 for me.
Yeah. My dad he said, hey, if you go to college and make good grades, work, you can live here.
Well, he just set you up.
So I didn't do any of that.
Of course not.
And he said, you got 3 days to get out.
Yeah.
And then he gave me an extension because 7 days later I was in Paris Island. So
right.
He said,
that
okay.
was nice of him.
He said, I'll let you stay or you leave. So
yeah, your dad was a nice guy.
Right. He said, why don't you go in the Air Force? I said, I barely made it out of high school, man. So I didn't get serious about learning until later in life,
Yeah.
That's how
I did the same thing.
High school was all girls and football. Yours was stealing stuff, whatever you did.
It was. I was a criminal.
But so I was watching this assassination attempt up on the dais or whatever they call it, dais.
Yeah.
Up on where the important people sit.
Yeah.
And the shooting was going on. And there was a guy, one of the agents stood up in front of the president. That's his job.
Oh, yeah.
He just stood up. But it took a while for them to
realize
hey, bro,
what was happening.
We're leaving. What I mean? So, but the one guy did stand up. He stood what you call standing tall for your principal, right?
Yep.
Put his plates up and all that. But it took a while for them to say, hey, Donald.
Yeah, we got to move.
We got to leave. Then he fell down. It was, it wasn't.
I don't think he just fell like Biden falls.
No, he tripped on something. They were trying to rush him.
Yeah, they had him pushed so far forward that he did lose his balance.
They got J.D. Vance out way quicker than they did Donald.
They did.
The future president.
Well, he was closer to the door.
Yeah. Do you hear the future president?
Yeah.
You think he is a Rubio?
I think they'd be a good team.
Either one. I'm good with either one of those two.
Yeah.
They're both, the debate stage is going to be hilarious with those two.
Yes.
Because they keep their cool and they just throw facts at you.
Well, J.D. Vance, when he debated Walls, he was very professional, and you haven't seen that in any of the debates since Reagan.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Well, Trump's Trump. Trump's like, well, you're ugly, your wife's fat. You know, he's a like a schoolyard guy. You know what I mean, and I like that. It's fun.
At least you know where you stand with him.
You know who didn't have a chance with him back in 2015 or whatever?
Oh,
Jeb Bush.
No,
that was hilarious.
No,
and Rand Paul. They thought they were going to come out and do the typical, healthcare, all this, and Trump's like, your mom's got a bum foot and all this stuff. You know, so your mom's ugly. Whatever. All right, let's look here. What do we got? They're talking about when violent encounter or arguments turn deadly, right?
Right.
We see that sometimes with custody exchanges and and those things are intense, man.
I would say we see that more times than not.
Right. We've got a lot of people come to us, especially women. It's typically, here's the deal. We'll just be honest. If a woman assaults a man, everybody's kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
But when a man puts his full force on a woman and destroys their face.
Oh, yeah. It's a polyester pig pile.
Yeah,
he's getting hooked and booked.
Yeah. But if a woman smacks a man, they're like, get over it.
Yeah.
It's just society, right?
Right.
I've had women, I probably deserved it. They flew into me slapping and all this stuff.
Right.
And you just kind of get away from it, right? They don't do a lot of damage. They might scratch you or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I would have turned on them and used my full
you'd
force,
have been the bad guy.
I'd have broke bones in their face probably. That's what happens, right?
Yeah.
And I get people pushy, and we're dealing with kids and all that. Let's look at this one article here from Lubbock Online in Lubbock, Texas.
Oh,
that's down yonder. That's over yonder and down yonder. It said, report sheds light on Kyle Carruth, Chad Reed wrongful death suit. Okay, let's read about it. A deadly shooting in Lubbock that gained worldwide notoriety. This is December 7th, 2024, when the article was written. A deadly shooting in Lubbock that gained worldwide notoriety quietly came to a close after surviving family members of Chad Reed agreed to settle their wrongful death lawsuits against developer Kyle Carruth. The judgment was filed November 22nd in the 237th district. How many districts do we have?
We got a lot.
Should be like 5.
Yeah.
But anyway, closing the wrongful death lawsuits that Jennifer Reed, Chad Reed's widow, and Jinx Reed, his mother, filed against Carruth in December 2021. All right, a month after the deadly shooting. Here we go. The document states that Carruth's insurer had to pay $20,000. Whatever. We'll get past that. I want to see what happened. Deadly shooting of Chad Reed. The lawsuit stemmed from Chad Reed's November 5th, 2021 fatal shooting during a child custody dispute between Reed and his ex-wife, Christina Reed, at Carruth's residence and office in the 2100 block of 90th Street. All right. During the argument, Carruth, who was Christian Reed's boss, told Chad Reed to leave. Christina Reed, I'm sorry. All right. Chad came there to the workplace and said they were arguing. Reed ignored Carruth and continued arguing with his ex-wife. Meanwhile, Carruth went into his home and returned with a rifle. Is Carruth, is he the football player? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't know anything about sports.
I know. You just know about stealing and painting and stuff.
Yeah.
You're not a theft. You're not
Listen,
a thief,
when I was a juvenile, I may have had criminal tendencies.
And then the drill instructor got that out of you, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. All right. A confrontation between the men erupted, with Carruth firing a warning shot at Reed's feet as the two men struggled over the weapon. During the struggle, Carruth was thrown off several feet, but still holding the rifle. He spins around and fires twice at Reed, who was struck and killed. Okay. Lubbock police responded to the shooting, and Carruth was not arrested. Self-defense, right? What do you think? This guy was trying to get the guy out of the building. It's his building. Stand your ground. What do you call it? Castle doctrine. All those. This is his house plus workplace.
Yeah, I mean it depends on the laws of each state. I mean, we have that blanket. The castle doctrine. Stand your ground. Sometimes there's a little more into it.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was wrong. Yeah, the guy was wrong for going there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Don't go to a place of employment
and argue.
Yeah, and then don't get into it with the boss. It's just a shame somebody had to lose their life when they could have just left and continued, arguing some other time, some other place.
Right. Yeah. If somebody came in here now, this is my workplace plus kind of a home, right?
Right.
My daughter lives here. She was here earlier. She may still be here. Is her car out there?
No, she's gone.
But somebody comes in, starts arguing with you, and I say leave. And then they say no, and they start fighting with me. I pull a pistol. We start fighting over the pistol. Then I'm probably going to shoot them.
Yeah.
And should be good. You never know around here.
Yeah.
DeKalb County, Alabama, you never know.
Well, yeah.
They changed their mind on a whim.
Yeah. Well, it's DeKalb County.
You know Jackson better, don't you? Jackson
Yes.
County. Anyway, this guy, Caruth, was never arrested, but they did sue him, obviously, wrongful arrest suit and all that. But here's the thing. On these custody disputes, they have systems in place where you chat over a certain app where somebody can moderate it and see what's going on. It's all recorded. Showing up in person and arguing. We've seen it where during the custody exchange where the kids were there and they're arguing and fussing and fighting.
Yeah. That's right in front of the kids.
Yeah. I've seen it happen at the police department where they're doing an exchange.
Yeah. We've seen it there too.
We had one over at Sneed's Crossroads. You know that area.
Yeah.
Down the mountain there. Down yonder.
Yeah.
Towards Birmingham.
Right.
Where they said, hey, come record this exchange. Sometimes the police don't come out. I said, okay. And the guy got out. He's always antagonizing our client, the wife, ex-wife. And he starts smacking her right there in front of the kids in the police department. And some police officer came out and lowered it was like he grabbed him by the head and did a drop, like a DDT. I don't know what you call it.
WWE stuff.
Right on the asphalt. Busted his face. It was good. I was like, whoa. Was he nice?
Good.
I had to turn my recording over to their police department.
Well, you make copies.
I didn't have a copy, but anyways, he didn't get in trouble. The guy was assaulting somebody.
Yeah.
Right. With children, with a baby in his hand, by the way, or in her hand. That's
Even on a case, I'm not going to let that go.
But I was getting ready to I was like, I need to help this woman.
Yeah,
and then the officer came out and I was like, whoa, he got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was a ways off. I was like in a parking lot across the 4-lane highway kind of thing.
Yeah, but you can clear that distance pretty quick.
The officer came out and I was like, he got it. So anyway, put cuffs on him and threw him in the pokey. That guy got a felony assault for smacking her around.
Good.
Police officers. I don't think he's there anymore. I think he's in Birmingham or something. But he didn't leave because he just, in my opinion, he was right. You get the guy off of whatever means necessary, get him off the woman.
Right.
Especially with a child of 1-year-old in her arms.
We've done it here when I was policing here. We always helped out, met him at Jack's, or we said, well, come to the police department and park here under this awning, and you can do the exchange there. And
they got the nice police department at 5 now, the big building.
Yeah.
It used to be right there on the corner where that clothing
shop or whatever it is. Yeah.
Been a bunch of stuff there now, but I've sat in that one when it was the police department. They had They had the old cage back there, like you'd see on Andy Grip. It was a 4-walled cage.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. They just put you in there. You're like, everybody's walking by. They're having coffee. You want some coffee? Sure. I'll have some you know what I mean?
Too bad. I bet you would like some coffee.
They had a bed in there. If you had to go to the bathroom, it was weird, man. But anyways, they didn't have a toilet in there, so they had to handcuff you, take you to the toilet, and then do your thing. And anyway, it was weird. It was like going back in time.
Yeah, I bet your dad loved that.
He didn't. Did they have a jail in the one now, a cell?
No.
Just lock you in a room if they need to for now.
No, you don't get locked in a room. You get arrested here, you go right down to DeKalb County and let the COs at the jail down there deal with you after booking.
You take the ride down. So back in my day, when I was a kid and teenager, whatever, in my formative years,
right,
the county jail was in the basement of the old courthouse.
Yeah.
Okay. And they had about 4 cells in there. So the local police had to have a way to confine you, until you could get you somewhere. Right. We didn't have as many people in trouble in either, but
times have changed.
The jail in DeKalb County's got a lot of people in it.
It does. Jackson has a lot of people in it for how small that jail is.
A lot of it's holding for ICE now. They got a lot of that going on. But,
at DeKalb,
But there's not a lot of ICE action going on around here now. They got a lot of the illegals out. So I don't know.
There should be a lot of ICE activity everywhere.
In my opinion, yes.
Yes, my opinion.
All right, here's my take on it. You ready? We've digressed a lot, Juice. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the speed. I like driving fast. I get tickets for it. Right. I think they should eradicate. I shouldn't be a criminal because I like to drive fast. I think they should get rid of that law.
Okay.
See how that's wrong? See how wrong that is?
Yeah, it is.
If we don't like illegals, that's a law in the books.
It is.
Go in, go change the law, do whatever.
It's not an ordinance for the city.
Right.
It's a federal law.
Right. Like if I go through Fife at 90 miles an hour, I broke
No, yeah,
Five's
reckless,
ordinance.
you're getting cuffed and stuffed.
I broke the state and local law. You know, if the locals say, "Hey, I don't want to prosecute this guy," the state trooper can come get me, right? Or if he's there, if he sees it. You get what I'm saying? Though we can't pick and choose which one we want to follow.
And there are laws on the books that are not followed.
Well, they're outdated. They just haven't been changed. So.
Oh yes, and they're so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Right. Which one?
Well, you can't wear, as a man, you cannot wear a strapless evening gown. I think it's in Miami after 6 p.m. in public.
So how's the trans community dealing with that? I know there's some down there probably.
It's a non-enforced law.
Okay. Because I know there's probably a decent trans community in Miami. There's cities usually have them.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. I guess they got to.
Yeah.
If you had a transgender person acting out, the police could pull that out and say, "We're getting you for wearing a strapless shirt."
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I'm a woman. No, you're not.
Yeah.
So.
You can't molest a garbage can in Daytona.
Somebody did that. Probably. Daytona's a big party spot.
It is. Imagine that.
Somebody was molesting a
garbage can.
And the state or the city council or the state people said, "Hey, we got to make a law."
Yeah. And unfortunately, you read some of these laws, you're like, "Oh my God, there's no way." It's because people have done this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's why the law is there.
All right, we went way off topic here.
Yeah, we did.
That's okay. Back to this, where arguments turn deadly. So custody exchanges, yes, it's heated already because there's a custody dispute going on.
Right.
And a lot of these we see, they get mad at each other over stupid stuff. Like Johnny has a baseball game and I want to take him to my aunt's house. You know, that kind of, they can't work out. They can't parent. They can't co-parent. No. It's impossible for them to do it. And the kids pay the price for that. So.
Correct. But it's you see a lot more reactive violence when kids are involved.
Yeah.
Because I know you're not taking my kid away from me.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I know my ex, she's like, "Well, you're not taking my kid away from me."
Mm-hmm.
So it gets heated really quick when kids or money's involved.
Right. Yeah. And it goes back, you know, the custody modifications, people come to us and say, or they've gone to court once and said, "I want to do a custody modification just because."
Right.
You got to have a lot of evidence to do it.
There is no just because.
Yeah. Custody mod is, who's that? I don't know, some weirdo riding around stalking us, Juice.
Well, it's not me or you, so.
So we got the windows open here, and we're out in the country here.
Yes.
And I know pretty much everybody that drives by.
Yeah.
There was a weirdo.
Yeah. Really? You know everybody here?
I'm the sheriff of my own property here.
Oh, I know.
My 30 acres or whatever this is.
You're down here on the Outlaw Estates.
Outlaw Estates. I call it Becky's Equestrian Center. So.
Well, there's that too.
But yeah, we know pretty much who drives by here. So
yeah,
it ain't like your house where it's like major highway going by.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my house is a major highway.
That road's been paved for like 20 years. This one just got paved this year.
Well, that's because you finally got off that money.
Get off. I didn't pay nothing. I just voted for the right person finally. So anyway, we complained about it for years. We just got, what's that called? The fiber optic cable here 2 years ago for internet. So
I still don't have it.
Really? Over there?
No.
Mostly? Well, you got Bernie's lasagna though, so.
Oh yeah, there's Bernie's.
We got that at church sometimes. It's good.
Yeah, Bernie's is good.
All right, back to what we're talking about. Arguments turning violent. All right. In your police officer life, you've seen a lot of people fussing at each other, and it turns into a deadly weapon. Gets a knife or gun gets pulled. Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tell me about some of that.
Husband and wife arguing. So the holidays were and the Alabama Auburn game day are the highlights. That's when domestic violences are really going to crank off.
Yeah.
And I've shown up because the ham was dry, not juicy like he wanted it, and an argument took place and she pulled a knife on the guy.
Right. Over ham?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving ham, basically? Or Easter?
Yeah. It wasn't just a ham. It was a dry ham.
Dry.
And these people, they're not factory workers. They're not working down at the stock mill. These are people that are in the medical field that have extensive education.
So they're not your typical trailer trash.
No.
Is that what you're saying? So
No, these are nurse practitioners and stuff.
like when you showed up, you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and I know the people, and I showed up. I'm like, well, somebody obviously came over and stirred up the pot. Little did I know it was the homeowners that I knew.
Right. And that's in the city limits over there?
Yeah.
So I can narrow that down to about 5 people.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
oh, you know who they are.
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Did somebody get a felony on it?
No.
Just misdemeanor stuff.
Yeah.
Quit hitting each other.
Yeah. It was like, what? Really? You two?
Right. I think I know.
Yeah, you do.
There's a divorce came out of it, right?
Yes.
I know it. I know exactly who it is. So
Yes.
I might have seen one of them the other day.
It happens.
I like both of them.
Yeah. And so do I.
They don't like
But
each other.
People, anger just clouds judgment.
Mhm.
I'm not faulting either one of them. Anger clouds judgment.
But you can't go hands on, man. With your wife, no. Girlfriend, you can't be hitting each other.
There are times that I will say, not against your wife or girlfriend, but there are times domestic disputes happen. Two guys go hands on.
Yeah.
And I get it. Testosterone's flying, egos are flying. One's got to tell the other one, look, I'm running this show, you're not.
Is that father-son type stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of understand it. I don't condone it. Don't get me wrong. I don't condone it, but I understand it.
If I rolled up on that, I'd probably like, see who wins. So
Yeah.
don't pull guns out or nothing.
You can't. I just walk over and go, really? I'm tired of them. Look, I get it. I was a teenager. My dad and I didn't get along.
Mm-hmm.
My dad knocked me out once. Mm-hmm. It happens.
Let me tell you my knockout story.
Go ahead.
So when I was a teenager, the big deal was the car, right? You get your car taken from you for being a smart aleck or doing something stupid, right? Uh-huh. And I had my car taken from me. And I told my dad was going on a trip. He said, if I find this car's moved, you're never going to see it again. Right. Oh. And I said, I'll do whatever I want. I was about 17.
Yeah.
The next thing I know, we didn't have concrete in the driveway, it was gravel then. The next thing I know, I was picking myself up out of the gravel.
Yes.
With a bloody nose and a tooth loose and all this. And I went in the house. He'd already kicked back in his chair, had Andy Griffith on.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, I guess you're not going to do that again, are you? No, sir. I was okay. He knocked me out.
Yeah.
And I didn't call DHS or police.
Oh, are you kidding?
I just dealt with it.
You know how many beatings I would have taken in the 30 seconds it took from the police department to get to my house?
Mm-hmm. I went in and washed my face off, and I came in. I said, I think my tooth's loose. He felt of it and said, I'll be all right. That's kind of how it went.
Yeah. I called my dad out at 17. Biggest mistake of my life.
That old man's strength is something.
He was an iron worker welder. He had all kind of strength, and he had no qualms about knocking me out in the backyard.
My dad had kind of gotten out of shape. He's kind of getting fatter in the middle.
Yeah.
And I had no idea he still had that power and that right.
Yeah.
He did.
It happened.
It'd been building up. I'd been popping off for a few weeks and,
But it happens. I mean, I consider it a rite of passage into manhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the times.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it turns into father shooting son, son shooting father.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather you just go outside, knock the crap out of each other, shake hands, and get back to being father and son.
Right.
But people anymore, they just lose it, and the first thing they do is they grab a weapon.
Right. So here's one. This was this year in April. This is in Nashville. Metro Police said the shooting happened on April 11th. A memorial now marks the spot just feet from the front door. Let's read about this one. This is a child exchange. This is a witness said, I was sitting on the bed getting ready and heard some loud noises. The police said the mother of Charvante,
Okay.
I think it's a man, and her 18-year-old boyfriend, identified as Demetrius Brown, were dropping off the girl when the exchange turned deadly. Her window was busted from the bullets that probably went through his head, the witness said. Family members said they were still struggling to process the loss. Charvante's older brother, Dominic Liss, said the grief is now overwhelming. It's really tough. I found myself trying to text him the next day. That's how tough it is. I've watched it affect my mom, my brother, my sister. It's pretty tough. I have to keep up as much strength as I can. All right, let's get down to the story. They buried the story. All right. So this guy was dropping his child off to the mama's house, and she had her boyfriend there, and they got into an argument, and the boyfriend shot him, killed him right there. So anyway, and there's probably another incident where the boyfriend probably was not supposed to be there in the first place.
Right.
And the dad said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" kind of thing. And it turned into a fight, and one got shot. So
yeah, unfortunately, it's another prime example of cooler heads prevail.
yeah. And if there's been some issues with custody in this one, there's probably if you go down the list, there's some issues. The exchange probably should have taken place in public at the police department, sheriff's office, somewhere like that.
And they'll do that courtesy for you.
Yeah. There's always a desk sergeant there.
Yeah.
You just do it right there
somebody's always there.
Yeah. Dispatch is there. Somebody's there.
Yeah.
In the county down here, there's always a person sitting in there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if Fife has that or not.
No.
But there's always
there's
always an officer
on
around.
patrol. Yeah.
Yeah. Within 7-8 minutes where they are, unless they're out on something big.
Right.
But yeah, man, the custody exchange is a big deal. And that's where we see a lot of violence take place. I've witnessed it myself. I know you have. And it's best just to walk away, man.
Yeah. If anybody's going through it, I mean, cooler heads do prevail. Just don't say anything, no matter how mad you are. Just drop the child off. Do what you got to do according to the law or what child visitation the judge has set forth, and just do that, and then go call your attorney.
Yeah, and you can record everything. You can document it with a video, and I've seen those videos before, and it works out good. You know? So you can video all this stuff.
Just stay calm, cool, collect, do what you got to do, and handle it differently.
All right, Juice, that's it for this one. We beat this dead horse. It's dead.
We did.
Real dead. All right, we'll be back with another episode soon. Bye.